So, on today's episode of the Honest Art Podcast, what I'm talking about is really how to deal with critiques and the benefit of getting critiques. But I want to stress to you guys that being able to convey your intention around a piece or kind of what you were thinking or just kind of the theme of the piece is really important, even in terms of a critique. So whenever I offer critiques, the first thing I always ask is, tell me about this piece. And the reason I do that is honestly, sometimes when I will just see a piece of art, I won't connect to it very much. It's not always that I don't like it, but I don't really know how to connect to it. I'm not sure about it. And so when the artist is able to convey the intention or what the piece is about, then a lot of times I'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. But as an artist, you need to be able to articulate this, not only for a critique, but it's also so important when you are trying to convey this to possible collectors. You know, I've got some folks that are coming into my studio next week to look at art. I know that I'm going to have to speak about each of these pieces to the collectors. It's really important. It's also important if you are applying to galleries or if you're speaking to interior designers or really anyone, you want to be clear about what your intention is about the piece, because it really, really helps the collector, the gallerist, the whomever it might be, to connect to it. And while we're talking about this, it goes into more. It goes into the title that you choose for the piece. That's why naming it is really important. In fact, studies show that art that has a title sells more than art that is untitled. So when you are looking at the piece and you're thinking, what should I name this? Think about how you're wanting it to be conveyed to that collector, whoever that person might be. So if you want more information on how to handle critiques, how they could be helpful to you, head over to the podcast, the Honest Art Podcast with Jody King, and you can learn all of my other tips.